Sydney is the capital city of the state of New South Wales, and the most populous city in both Australia and Oceania. Located on Australia's east coast, the metropolis surrounds Sydney Harbour and extends about 70 kilometres, 43.5 miles, towards the Blue Mountains to the west, Hawkesbury to the north, the Royal National Park to the south and Macarthur to the southwest. Sydney is made up of 658 suburbs, spread across 33 local government areas. Residents of the city are known as Sydneysiders and Quad. The 2021 census recorded the population of Greater Sydney as 5,231,150, meaning the city is home to approximately 66% of the state's population. Nicknames of the city include the Emerald City and the Harbour City and Opos. Despite being one of the most expensive cities in the world, Sydney frequently ranks in the top 10 most livable cities in the world. It is classified as an Alpha Global City by the Globalization and World Cities Research Network, indicating its influence in the region and throughout the world. Ranked 11th in the world for economic opportunity, Sydney has an advanced market economy with strengths in finance, manufacturing and tourism. Established in 1850, the University of Sydney was Australia's first university and is regarded as one of the world's leading universities. Sydney has hosted major international sporting events such as the 2000 Summer Olympics. The city is among the top 15 most visited cities in the world, with millions of tourists coming each year to see the city's landmarks. The city has over 1 million hectares of nature reserves and parks, and its notable natural features include Sydney Harbour and Royal National Park. The Sydney Harbour Bridge and the World Heritage-listed Sydney Opera House are major tourist attractions. Central Station is the hub of Sydney's rail network, and the main passenger airport serving the city is Kingsford Smith Airport, one of the world's oldest continually operating airports. The regions of Sydney include the CBD or City of Sydney, colloquially referred to as the City, and Inner West, the eastern suburbs, Southern Sydney, including St George and Sutherland Shire, Greater Western Sydney, including Southwestern Sydney, Hills District and the Macarthur region, and Northern Sydney, including the North Shore and Northern Beaches. The Greater Sydney Commission divides Sydney into 5 districts based on the 33 LGAs in the metropolitan area: the Western City, the Central City, the Eastern City, the North District, and the South District. The Australian Bureau of Statistics includes City of Central Coast, the former Gosford City and Wyong Shire, as part of Greater Sydney for population counts. This adds another 330,000 people to the metropolitan area covered by Greater Sydney Commission. In 2021, 30.3% of Sydney residents identified themselves as having no religion. Christianity was the largest religious affiliation at 46%, the largest denominations of which were Catholicism at 23.1% and Anglicanism at 9.2%. The most common non-Christian religious affiliations were Islam, 6.3%, Hinduism, 4.8%, Buddhism, 3.8%, Sikhism, 0.7%, and Judaism, 0.7%. About 500 people identified with traditional Aboriginal religions. The Church of England was the only recognised church before Governor Macquarie appointed official Catholic chaplains in 1820. 323, Macquarie also ordered the construction of churches such as St. Matthew's, St. Luke's, St. James's, and St. Andrew's. Religious groups, alongside secular institutions, have played a significant role in education, health and charitable services throughout Sydney's history. Sydney is a gateway to Australia for many international visitors. It has hosted over 2.8 million international visitors in 2013, or nearly half of all international visits to Australia. These visitors spent 59 million nights in the city and a total of $5.9 billion. The countries of origin in descending order were China, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, the United States, South Korea, Japan, Singapore, Germany, Hong Kong, and India. The city also received 8.3 million domestic overnight visitors in 2013 who spent a total of $6 billion. 26,700 workers in the city of Sydney were directly employed by tourism in 2011. There were 480,000 visitors and 27,500 people staying overnight each day in 2012. On average, the tourism industry contributes $36 million to the city's economy per day. Major developmental projects designed to increase Sydney's tourism sector include a casino and hotel at Barangaroo and the redevelopment of East Darling Harbour, which involves a new exhibition and convention centre, now Australia's largest. Sydney is the highest-ranking city in the world for international students. More than 50,000 international students study at the city's universities and a further 50,000 study at its vocational and English language schools. International education contributes $1.6 billion to the local economy and creates demand for 4,000 local jobs each year. Thank you for staying with us for too long. See you next time with some interesting travel story.